The immortal jellyfish is real. That part is not wrong. But when most people hear it, they picture something tough, an animal that has found a way to outlast everything the ocean throws at it. That image is exactly backwards. Turritopsis dohrnii can reset its own biological age to 0 and do it repeatedly. It is also one of the most easily killed animals in the sea, with no defense against predators, no ability to flee, and a body smaller than a pencil eraser. Both of those things are true at the same time. The immortality does not make it harder to kill. It bypasses one specific cause of death, aging, and every other cause applies in full at every moment with no reduction in probability. That distinction matters because it changes what the word immortal actually means when you apply it to a living thing. That reversal is not a laboratory artifact. It has been documented in wild populations, not just in controlled tanks. The adult medusa that does this is approximately 5 millimeters across its bell at full size, which is roughly the diameter of a pencil eraser. The polyp colonies it produces are smaller still. The entire organism at every stage of its life is something you could lose in a glass of water. The cellular mechanism that makes the reversal possible is called transdifferentiation, and it is worth slowing down on because it is genuinely unusual. In almost every animal alive, a differentiated cell, a cell that has already committed to a specific function, stays committed. A muscle cell does not become a nerve cell. A skin cell does not become a liver cell. The specialization is essentially permanent. T. dohrnii does not follow that rule. During the reversal, cells from the adult bell, which are mature epithelial and mesoglea tissue, are directly converted into the cell types needed to rebuild a polyp structure. They change jobs entirely, not by dying and being replaced, but by rewriting their own identity while still alive. This is not the same as regeneration, where an animal regrows lost tissue of the same type. It is also distinct from the way stem cells work in conventional biology, where undifferentiated reserve cells are recruited to produce new specialized tissue. What happens in T. dohrnii appears to be a wholesale organism-wide identity shift at the cellular level. Localized transdifferentiation occurs in other animals. Salamanders do something similar when regenerating a limb, but nothing else known to science performs this across an entire body at once. So what does it actually mean to call an animal biologically immortal? The term has a precise scientific definition, and it is not what the phrase sounds like. Biological immortality does not mean the animal cannot die. It means the animal shows no measurable increase in mortality rate as it ages, and no decline in reproductive capacity over time. Most animals, including humans, follow what is called a Gompertz curve. The older you get, the faster your probability of dying climbs, because the body accumulates damage it cannot repair. T. dohrnii flattens that curve by resetting biological age to 0. It does not stop aging. It ages forward and then rewinds. A few other organisms share aspects of this. Hydra, a small freshwater invertebrate, shows negligible senescence, and some bristlecone pines appear to do the same. But none of them actively reverse their developmental stage the way T. dohrnii does. Scientists are still not entirely certain how the genetic regulation governing this reset works at a molecular level, which makes it one of the more active areas of current research in cellular biology. The species is native to the Mediterranean and to coastal waters around southern Japan. Its current range covers every major ocean basin on Earth, and the reason for that spread is not biological, it is industrial. Cargo ships take on ballast water at one port to maintain stability and discharge it at another. That water carries polyp colonies and planular larvae. Because T. dohrnii can revert to the polyp stage under stress, it is unusually capable of surviving the inside of a ballast tank. Dark, mechanically turbulent, low in oxygen, exactly the conditions that kill most medusae. The same mechanism that makes it biologically immortal made it a near-perfect stowaway. It is now established along the Pacific coast of North America, the Atlantic coast of Europe, parts of Southeast Asia and Australia. It has been called the first cosmopolitan jellyfish, a single species present across ocean systems that are otherwise ecologically isolated from each other. And if you think that an animal with no expiration date spreading across every ocean, sounds like it should be taking over, that is the right moment to ask why it isn't. Here is where the story turns. The vast majority of tea dorni, individuals in the wild, die before they ever complete a single reversal cycle. Fish eat them, other jellyfish eat them, sea turtles eat them, planktonic filter feeders eat them without distinguishing them from any other particle drifting past. The polyp stage is sessile. It cannot move, it cannot flee. It sits attached to a surface and waits. The medusa stage is nearly transparent and less than 5 millimeters wide, which means it gets swallowed whole by animals that are not even targeting it specifically. And the reversal itself, which only triggers in response to a serious stressor, requires the animal to survive that stressor long enough to complete the process. A jellyfish that is eaten halfway through reversion does not finish reverting. The immortality is not a defense. It offers no protection at any stage. That is worth sitting with for a second. Subscribe if you want more like this, because it means the most extraordinary survival mechanism in modern zoology does not make the animal that carries it more likely to survive. The species does not dominate anywhere in its current range. It does not bloom. It does not outcompete local jellyfish populations in any documented way. There is no measurable ecological signal that its biological immortality confers any competitive advantage at the population level. What the genome preserves is not survival. It is the option to restart, a door that remains unlocked, and whether that door can ever actually be used depends entirely on circumstances the animal has no control over. What you are left with is an animal that does not age toward death and still dies constantly. Turritopsis dohrnii does not escape the conditions of being alive. It escapes one of them, the one that places a fixed endpoint on the clock, and every other cause of death applies in full, with the same probability, at every moment of its existence. Its immortality is not a solution to mortality. It is a loop inside it, a way of remaining vulnerable indefinitely rather than for a set amount of time. The most remarkable thing about it is not that it lives forever. It is that forever for this animal is just more of the same fragile, contingent, dangerous existence every other creature has. Thanks for watching. If this was worth your time, a like helps the channel more than you'd think, and the next video is on the screen right now.